Welcome back to Nets Republic. I tell you, I've been waiting on Mr. Malik to get to this. Is it Malik? I think it's Malik. I may have been saying his name wrong this entire time. I apologize. But Mr. Bridges, I've been waiting for this performance because I've had like 50 thumbnails of this dude, and it's like, when can I use it? So finally the bum woke up. Welcome to Brooklyn. We've been waiting on you very patiently, but that's neither here nor there. I've randomly come to the conclusion that I feel like I'm not saying his name right. So if I'm not, I apologize. I feel like it's Malik. Is it Malik? Is it Malik? Malik? Is it Malik Bridges? Malik. Hold on, Mikal Bridges. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say that just didn't even sound right coming off the tongue. Mikal Bridges. Anyway, I had been waiting on you to have a performance like this because I've had like 45 thumbnails queued up, but Mikal finally came through. Where did I get Malik from? I don't know. I used to know a dude named Malik like way back in the day, but that's not here or there. Welcome back to Nets Republic. I'm your host, Seventh Bond. Welcome back to the channel and such. You know, other lesser YouTubers would have probably started the video over because they would be afraid, like, oh, I said the wrong name. I got to restart the video and make sure it's perfect. No, not here on Nets Republic. We give you what needs to be said, and we give you the manner in which it needs to be spoken to. While characters do get played and agendas do get pushed and storylines are drawn for your entertainment, you'll always get a simple slice of Severin. That's what we try to give you here on Nets Republic. So while you're here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and go ahead and hit the thumbs up as well. Just go ahead and get that shenanigans out of the way. I'll tell you, ever since them dudes got traded, I thought we were gonna go back to like getting like 100 views a video. There seems to be quite a bit of us as far as Nets fans out there. Like this whole joke and meme of there's like 5 Nets fans. That's clearly not the case because y'all come through every video and it's much appreciated. But that's not here nor there. Mikal Bridges finally woke up. He finally gave the performance we've been waiting on, the performance that has been expected, the performance that's being shoved down our throats. Well, the expectation that's being shoved down our throats was finally delivered on. In the fourth quarter, that man went absolutely nuclear, and while I do think he was just throwing up a bunch of shots, he hit a good majority of them and more than the ones he missed, so I will absolutely take it. How is it different from Spencer Dinwiddie? Well, Spencer Dinwiddie's job is to pass the ball, facilitate, and hit the occasional shot. Mikal Bridges is clearly being pushed as our new star, so, you know, let him go off and do what he does. It's about time, especially when you have Cam Thomas playing as amazing as he did, and you saw how many minutes he got. So, again, I'm not quite sure why we don't just give him the starting role. If you're going to have Cam Thomas play basically the whole game as it was, and have him in the closing lineup, why not just let him start? Again, I don't know what Cam Johnson does exactly. I know he stacked up a couple points and had a cool layup. It was the drive of the game. But I'm not quite sure what Cam Johnson does. I will tell you what Cam Thomas does, and that's get buckets from anywhere on the court. I mean, the second he was subbed in, there was a point where he had 19 points in 9 minutes. This man was scoring a bucket a minute he was out there. Mans was handling business, and I truly believe that he is the future. But as long as he's playing, and Mikal is doing his job, I'm not really going to complain about it. Although I will say this, there's all this confusion and stuff of what are we going to do? How are we going to run our offense when we don't have people to attract the defense's attention? Are we just going to, rely on swinging the ball around and such in general, ISOs and such? Well, I can tell you one individual who gets almost triple teamed every time he touches the ball. That's Cam Thomas. So if you want to fall back on what we've been running this year, where we have one person who attracts a lot of attention and then they pass out of the double and or a triple team, you should have Cam Thomas out there. Does Mikal get doubled? No. Does Claxton get doubled? No. Even though, shout out to Claxton, I want him to start. But you get what I mean. We can sit here and name all the individuals who get minutes over Cam Thomas, and those individuals aren't getting double teamed. There was literally a play where Cam got triple teamed, basically quadruple teamed. There was 4 people that closed out on him. That type of defensive attention normally goes to the star of the team. And the star of the team is Cam Thomas, but it's okay. I won't complain about it. He got his minutes and we won, and a dub is a dub. And as long as we're winning, I'm not going to moan and complain that much. I will a little bit, but not that much. You already know how I feel about what is that? I don't know what that was. Anyway, you know how I feel about Cam. It is what it is. I'll leave it at that. I will, again, just throw out there that he was double-teamed multiple times. So if you're looking for someone to help break down the defense and get others open, you should probably have Cam Thomas out there a whole lot more. I thought it was an interesting decision to have Royce O'Neal play center towards the end of the game. I thought that was weird, but I was just happy that Royce was out there and it wasn't Finney Smith. And that's no shot at Mr. Finney Smith. Shout out to him and all the great things he does. But again, I don't see how you can go away from proven products and people who have put in the work to earn a spot on the court. And Royce O'Neal is one of those dudes who I feel like has definitely earned his spot out there. I don't think there's a question that he should be one of the individuals who's out there on a regular basis and who should absolutely be starting. This man is not sometimey with the shot. This man is not sometimey with his defense, even though putting him on Bam Adebayo, again, was a decision. It wasn't a right one, but it was a decision, but that's not even there. It was good to see him get minutes. It's nice to see that he's not going to be one of the individuals lost in the shuffle. I think we need to say a couple words and pour out some fictional Henny, if you will, not Destiny Henderson from the Indiana Fever, but we should definitely pull out some metaphorical Henny for Mr. Utah Watanabe. He didn't die. It's just the fact that I don't think we'll ever see him again on the floor. And it really is a shame. It's just because we have so many shiny new toys out there, individuals are starting to get lost in the shuffle. And I guess maybe if Mikal were to get in foul trouble, or maybe he were to miss a game due to injury, which he hasn't missed a game at all in his NBA career, so the chances of that are very low. But if we were ever to do load management, once the Undertaker-esque, Asuka-esque streak ends, then, maybe Utah can get some minutes in there and we can hit the Watanabe on my way. But until that day, it seems like he's going to be banished on the bench with Day'Ron Sharpe and Duke Jr. and Patty Mills, which it's always good to see Patty Mills collecting dust on the bench. Ben Simmons received a lot of minutes tonight, got a lot of fouls too, but he received a lot of minutes. I'm not entirely sure what he did with those minutes. Like, I saw him out there. I didn't really see him playing much defense. He had a cool full court pass to Mikal at the end of the third quarter, which was really nice. But in general, I'm not entirely sure what Ben Simmons did out there. But it's nice to see that we're giving him a chance and trying to fit him into whatever plans it is that we have. It's interesting that the individuals that won't be benched are people like Ben Simmons, but, it is what it is. He didn't have a night that was so egregious and disgusting that I'm willing to scream about it tonight, but he played all right. I think he attempted one shot, maybe two. He airballed a floater, and then he made a cool looking reverse layup thing under the basket where Mikal basically forced him to shoot the ball. So that was cool to see. Who else played? Claxton played, got into foul trouble a little bit, but again, that's kind of an unfavorable matchup against Bam Adebayo, a very mobile center that knows how to literally throw his weight around. But I thought Claxton played fine. Would have liked to see him get involved a little bit more, but when Mikal's going to go for 45, it is what it is. Most importantly, it was a great character win, and it was a great moment to show that this wasn't a mistake and that we most likely will be okay. I said last video that I was going to give it until the All-Star break. And, after that, we were going to reevaluate things and kind of look at Jacques Vaughn differently, be it in a positive or a negative light, because new information has been brought to the table, because now he's just coaching a bunch of role players in Cam Thomas. So it's like we have to see how that's going to work when he can't hide behind superstars' greatness. And Jacques Vaughn seems to be passing the test. There are, here and there some rotation issues that I think are a little bit strange, but as long as we're winning, I have no negativity for, anything. You can look at this and say, well, it was just the Miami Heat, but a dub's a dub and we'll absolutely take it, especially when we were, again, starting to get back into that descent and we were beginning to free fall a little bit. I think we're still solidly in the 5th seed or something like that, 5th or 4th seed, so we should be okay. We don't have another game until Friday, and we don't have any participants in any of the All-Star festivities. So this is 1 year I don't have to pretend like I watched the All-Star game. I can not watch it and be perfectly fine. Patty Mills isn't in the three-point competition. We don't have Harden or Kyrie. We don't have Kevin Durant. None of those individuals are even out there, so we should be fine. Something I just realized, Kevin Durant is hurt. That's why he's not playing with Phoenix. Because I keep seeing these promo packages for him, and he's playing in practice, but he's not playing with the team. And I'm like, what are they doing? Are they ramping up so he can learn the system? I forgot he was hurt. That's how much I don't think about him. I literally just thought about right now that man's hurt. That's why he's not playing. But that's not here nor there. I'm gonna make this kind of a shorter video just because outside of the heroics of almost said Malik again. Out of the heroics of Mr. Mikal, there's not really much else to speak on. It was a back and forth game. Everything went well, but as I've discussed a couple times, and for people who are long time viewers of my internet content, around this time of year, especially if I'm covering basketball, I tend to get a little burned out because it's it's game, and it gets a little monotonous a little bit. So I'm just a teensy bit burned out. I definitely need this All-Star break. We don't have any participants in the All-Star festivities, so I can actually take a legitimate break. So I'm looking forward to that. Honestly, I'm a little basketballed out right now because it's a full year thing. It's Nets and then dream with the WNBA, and then it's immediately back to Nets. So this break is much needed. So I'm gonna cut this video kind of short just for my own personal sanity, and I'll see y'all next Friday. I hope you all have a wonderful All-Star break. Stay safe. Take care of yourself so that you can be here when we return, so we can make this final push to the playoffs, and we will see what team we have, what we're working with, and we can guesstimate how far it is we'll make it. Again, I don't think anyone thinks we're going to win a championship, but it will be interesting to see how far we are able to get with the pieces that we have. I have my theories. I'm sure you have your theories, but let's, sprinkle them in the comments, and then we will reconvene next Friday to discuss what it is that we're doing. I believe we play the Bulls. That should be a dub. The Bulls are pretty much in the same fish tank as the Miami Heat, to where they've got these major expectations, but they keep flopping. And a lot of Chicago Bulls fans owe me an apology when you made that trade for Vucevic and all that stuff. I got on camera and told you it was pointless, but nobody ever believes me. But that's okay. Yeah, short video tonight. We won. Hooray for winning. Leave your feedback down below. I'm going to go to bed. No, I lied. I'm going to watch the new South Park. Then I'm going to go to bed. I will see y'all on next Friday, where I will be energized and happy to be back covering the Nets. I just need to relax. Also, if you're going to be playing with the Nets on 2K, let me suggest putting Ben Simmons at point guard, because can't no one guard him on 2K. It's a shame he doesn't play like that in real life, but if you're handling him on 2K, can't none of these guards keep up. You can just back him down in the post and drop 50 with Ben. It's just not fair. If you haven't been doing that, please take advantage of it. But that's not here or there. I ain't lost on 2K in a minute, but that's not here or there. I've stalled enough. I'm sure this video is long enough. I'll see you all on Friday.